Nina Mani, hello and welcome to the launch of Flinders University's first Reconciliation Action Plan. Our launch is taking place on the traditional lands of the Kaurna people, one of 13 traditional lands from which Flinders University operates. We acknowledge the enduring connection to country of Australia's First Nations people, their rich cultures and knowledges, and we pay our deep respects to elders past, present and emerging. I'm Professor Claire Pollock, and with my colleague, Professor Jonathan Craig, we've had the great privilege of co-chairing Flinders University's Reconciliation Action Plan Steering Committee and are honoured to host today's important event.
Today we hear from a number of eminent people, and it's my pleasure to welcome our Vice-Chancellor, Professor Colin Stirling, eminent elder, Professor Tom Calma, who lent his considerable expertise to the development of our RAP, Executive Director of Reconciliation South Australia and Distinguished Alumna Shona Reed, the Premier of South Australia, the Honourable Stephen Marshall, Pro-Vice-Chancellor Indigenous, Associate Professor Simone OBrien, staff, students and distinguished guests all. We acknowledge and thank our valued advisor and respected Kaurna elder, Uncle Lewis Yellowburka O'Brien and his son Michael for their generous welcome to their country.
Marawachanga, Kaurna Mianai Wangani, Mani the Pundigani Atana. Naibiriko, Mankalakala, Tandanya, Mianaku. Nature Yungandalia, Nature Yakanandalia, Padni Adlu Wadu. On behalf of the Kaurna people, I welcome you all to Kaurna country, and I do this ambassador of the Adelaide Plains people. My brothers, my sisters, let's walk together in harmony. Natalia.
Our inaugural Innovate Reconciliation Action Plan is a signal achievement for Flinders University. Its development included many people, but in particular was guided by two prominent and respected leaders. Professor Tom Calma, AO, has enjoyed a stellar career as a diplomat, a government advisor, and as a university chancellor. A former Social Justice Commissioner, Race Discrimination Commissioner, and co-chair of Reconciliation Australia, Professor Calma is currently the co-chair of the Indigenous Voice to Government initiative. In 2014, Flinders University awarded Professor Calma the honorary degree of Doctor of the University. Shona Reed leads South Australia's reconciliation movement as the Executive Director of Reconciliation South Australia. She has a special interest in child protection and spent many years in the APY lands before bringing her skills to the State Parliament's Aboriginal Lands Standing Committee. Shona Reed was awarded a Flinders University Distinguished Alumni Award in 2019 for her significant contribution and commitment to the advancement and rights of Aboriginal children, young people, families and communities. We're honoured to hear from both Tom Calma and Shona Reed today ahead of the formal launch of Flinders University's Reconciliation Action Plan by the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Colin Stirling.
Hi, I'm Shona Reed. I'm the Executive Director at Reconciliation SA, and I'm really proud to be here today on Kaurna land at Flinders University, a place that is so important to me in my development. I went here in the late 90s and studied here for a number of years, and I'm very proud to be associated with Flinders and to also be recognised as a Distinguished Alumni earlier this year. I'm really excited that Flinders University has taken on a very brave and courageous path to explore reconciliation within their environment, within all their university schools and amongst their students and amongst their staff. Reconciliation is a really important component of talking about who we are as a community, who we are as a society, and a Reconciliation Action Plan is a wonderful way to explore that and to engage our First Nations people in the way we approach reconciliation here in South Australia, but more broadly in Australia. So I would like to congratulate Flinders University on their journey and look forward to seeing how they go in delivering on all their commitments that they've made towards reconciliation here at Flinders.
Hi, I'm Tom Calma, and I was, until very recently, the co-chair of Reconciliation Australia. My folks are from Darwin, Kongarakan on my mother's side and Iwajil on my father's side, and I've had the privilege to work with the Flinders team to develop your first Innovate wrap. It was a great process, and I was just totally blown away by the commitment and the interest of people, not only from Adelaide and the South Australian region, but Central Australia and the Northern Territory up in Darwin. It was a great process. What was really great in Adelaide was that we had not only professional and academic staff, but a whole range of students joined us, and that also happened in Darwin. So we can be very proud that this Reconciliation Action Plan that Flinders has just embarked on, that we launched this morning, has and will be a document that we should all refer to and that we should all own. Because for reconciliation to work, we have to do this together. Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians all across the nation need to work together. I'd also like to acknowledge the strong support, the guidance and the direction of both Jonathan and Claire, being the senior leads on this program, and everybody else who was involved, because it is a great document, it's an easy read, and it's something that if we embrace it, we will see a better future for all Australians. So get on board, work with your RAP, and know that it was done in a co-designed way, and it was done with everybody's involvement and everybody's commitment to the process. Thank you.
Thank you. And like others here today, I also would like to acknowledge that today's event is taking place on the traditional lands of the Kaurna people, and to pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. But of course, Flinders University has the privilege of operating on many different lands across South Australia and the Northern Territory. And so I'd also like to acknowledge all Indigenous peoples who've welcomed us to their lands and their communities. It's fitting that during National Reconciliation Action Week, we're here in person and online to launch this important initiative in our university's history. It was almost a year ago that the university formally embarked upon the development of its inaugural Reconciliation Action Plan. And I say formally because, of course, that's when we began an extensive series of consultations. But even that was the culmination of a great deal of quiet preparatory work designed to ensure that we were ready. We knew that we'd be embarking on a transformative undertaking for the university, and had to be sure that we understood the significance of the endeavour and that we were ready to truly listen. Of course, Flinders University has always been underpinned by a deep sense of fairness and social justice. These manifest in our commitments both to equity of opportunity in education and to research that delivers positive benefits for society at large. It was therefore no surprise that our first consultation meetings revealed deep support for a RAP that reflected a collective aspiration for Flinders to be a place of inclusion, equity, respect and unity. Our Reconciliation Action Plan will set the university on its own unique journey towards reconciliation. It's been developed in consultation with students, staff, alumni, and with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities across South Australia and the Northern Territory. But launching this plan and its glossy brochure is not in itself an endpoint. Rather, it's a step on a journey towards reciprocity, building on achieving deeper understanding, acceptance, and mutual respect. Our Flinders vision for reconciliation will embed Indigenous perspectives across our institution and deepen our commitment to our First Nations peoples, their knowledges and cultures. We've defined 16 specific actions to build relationships, foster respect, create opportunities, and proper governance for reconciliation at our campuses. Those actions involve more than 80 specific deliverables, such as embedding Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people's histories, cultures, and knowledges within our curriculum, strengthening our recruitment, retention, and professional development of Indigenous people, mentoring of our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander early career researchers, reviewing and revising university policies and procedures to align with our RAP commitments, and engaging elders on our campuses in South Australia and the Northern Territory. I ask all of you to take the time to familiarise yourself with the plan and its call to action, to think about what it means and consider how you can personally contribute to the journey. Our RAP must be a living document, one that informs our daily activities. My hope would be that it constantly prompts us to ask ourselves, how will my actions respect Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, their cultures, their histories, and their knowledges? So it's with deep respect and in the spirit of recognition and unity that I today launch Flinders University's first Reconciliation Action Plan, knowing that together we can make a positive difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Sterling. That was Balya, which in my language, Yangunjara, means good. Equally, I could say Pacha, which is in Ghana, means deadly, and that's heartfelt and high praise. As Pro-Vice-Chancellor Indigenous and a proud Yangunjara woman, I would like to express appreciation to our Vice-Chancellor for his leadership and for being the catalyst for our reconciliation journey. Reconciliation is a collective effort at the grassroots, but it's immensely difficult to maintain without the leadership and vision from the top. Thank you, Colin, for your commitment and support for our RAP. It is a commitment that has been increasingly apparent in the 6 years at the helm of Flinders, including during our 50-year anniversary celebrations in 2016, and the renewed and re-energised engagement Flinders has experienced since. This energy and deepening relationship is perhaps best symbolised by the presentation of commemorative message sticks that were gifted to the university by the Ghana community to mark the occasion. These important ceremonial objects embody a gesture of welcome, and it's an honour for Flinders University to be entrusted with their custodianship. As such, they have a special place in Flinders' cultural fabric. We have the message sticks present here for today's launch, reflecting the significance of today's event from the perspective of First Nations people, and in particular the Ghana community. In addition, the launch of our Reconciliation Action Plan, Flinders University is also celebrating the opening of a new exhibition today. It's called In the Hold, Decolonising Cook in Contemporary Australian Art. This compelling Flinders University Arts Museum initiative puts the complex and contested legacy of Captain Cook under the lens, 250 years since its landing on Dharawal country on the southern headland of what is also known as Botany Bay. Co-curated by Senior Lecturer Dr. Ali Gamilia Baker, who's also a multidisciplinary learning artist, and FUMA Director Fiona Salmon, the exhibition features both Indigenous and non-Indigenous contemporary Australian artists that challenge Eurocentric representations of Cook and the nation's recent past. As we know, Cook was armed with secret orders when he boarded the Endeavour in 1768 to seek the Great Southland and take possession of it in the name of the King of Great Britain. Since then, he's been celebrated and mythologised in the grand narrative of white Australia as a founding father. However, these versions of the nation's genesis and dominant representations of Australian history that follow have come under intense scrutiny since the 20th century, with growing discourse about how to present a more holistic version of our shared history on this land. National Reconciliation Week is a time to contemplate our collective responsibility to our histories and how we grapple with their meanings and their effects in the present day. I congratulate both Ali and Fiona and the Flinders University Museum of Art for providing us with a potent and effective frame through which we can precisely do this. I also acknowledge FUMA's track record in public and education programs that support teaching for reconciliation and look forward to expanded future collaboration that can deliver the ambitions of the Reconciliation Action Plan. In doing so, we build stronger, richer and respectful relationships founded on trust, fairness and equality, echoing the National Reconciliation Week theme of In This Together. Thank you.
Thank you, Simone. Associate Professor Simone OBrien is Flinders University's inaugural Pro-Vice-Chancellor Indigenous and previously distinguished herself as the Director of Yungarendi, our First Nations Centre for Higher Education and Research. Simone and her colleague, Dr. Ali Gamilia Baker, have been instrumental in driving our engagement with Indigenous students, staff, and the broader community to enhance respect for Indigenous knowledge systems and to progress Indigenous advancement in education, research, employment, and well-being. We also recognise that our Reconciliation Action Plan can play an important educative role in raising community awareness and acceptance. And we are delighted to welcome South Australia's Premier and Minister for Aboriginal Affairs and Reconciliation, the Honourable Stephen Marshall MP, and Opposition Aboriginal Affairs and Reconciliation spokesman, the Honourable Kayam Ma, to offer their thoughts on the university's achievement.
Congratulations to the Flinders University on the launch of your Reconciliation Action Plan. Your university has a presence on 13 traditional Aboriginal lands from Ghana here in Adelaide to Arunta in Central Australia and Larrakia in the north. I acknowledge the traditional owners of all these lands, their continuing custodianship and connection to country, and I pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. A Reconciliation Action Plan provides a framework for organisations to support the national reconciliation movement and to create meaningful opportunities with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. It requires a lot of hard work, widespread consultation and consideration of many complex factors. I really welcome your initiatives to involve Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander leaders in the development of curriculum, to create an Indigenous governance structure and to establish the Elders on Campus program. These objectives, among many others, have been outlined by Flinders University, and I wish you and your community every success as you embark upon this very important journey.
Nina Marnie. First of all, I wish to acknowledge that most of us who are watching this are on Kaurna land. Where the university sits, this whole state, this whole country, always was, always will be Aboriginal land. I want to congratulate Flinders Uni for the launch of their Reconciliation Action Plan. It's a very strong demonstration of Flinders Uni commitment in this area. I've known many fantastic people from Flinders Uni, academics, students who've done a lot to better the lives of Aboriginal people, academics who have been involved in nation rebuilding, involved in treaty discussions, really making a difference in the lives of Aboriginal communities and Aboriginal people. But there is always more that can be done. And with the launch of this Reconciliation Action Plan, Flinders Uni is committing itself to making real changes, to making a real difference in the lives of Aboriginal people, in the lives of Aboriginal communities, for Aboriginal students. And there's nothing more powerful than education in helping overcome the disadvantage so many Aboriginal people face in Australia today. So congratulations, Flinders Uni. I can't wait to see the positive things that come out of this. Thank you.
I'd like to reiterate our special thanks to everyone who has contributed to today's launch. As Professor Karma said earlier, this has very much been a shared journey, and if we are to implement as we must, the RAP, it will continue to be a shared journey. And we are so pleased and privileged to have your support as we go forward in that spirit of respect and of unity.
Thank you, Jonathan. And you also can show your support for a reconciliation agenda with one of our beautiful badges. You may have seen us wearing these today. These are based on artwork created by our Indigenous students and staff that adorns our Yungarendi offices. So that concludes today's formalities. Please visit our website to obtain your copy of our RAP, to learn more about our reconciliation aspirations and how we intend to achieve them. Thank you very much for watching, and Nakanda.